A pleasant day to all of you. We are on the third day our WCO Summit celebration for this year, 2020. Today, let me share with you the highlights of the WCO's annual activities for the period January to December 2019. Alright, let's start with the legal basis. The WCO rules require each WCO member, the market operator, the system operator, metering service provider, and all other WCO service providers, to designate a compliance officer in their respective organizations, and for said WCO compliance officers, WCOs for short, to submit an annual report on their respective organization's compliance with the WCO rules and WCO market manuals. The said report is required to be submitted to the Enforcement and Compliance Office, no later than the end of January of the following year. And in compliance with this requirement, 121 out of 292 or 41.44% of the WCO members as of December 31, 2019, submitted their WCO annual reports for calendar year 2019. What you see in the screen is a breakdown of the submissions by category. A summary of the received reports, together with copies of the individual reports, are then submitted to the Department of Energy for its evaluation and consideration in its policy studies. Following the reporting template provided by WCO for the guidance of WCOs, the annual report should cover, as may be applicable, the following areas. 1. Compliance activities. 2. Non-compliances experienced. 3. Proposed changes to the WCO rules or manuals, and 4. Other concerns. Based on the submissions of the WCOs, several activities were undertaken in 2019 to improve the members' participation in the WCO and to promote and ensure compliance with the WCO rules and WCO manuals. These activities included attendance to WCO events and conferences, conduct of WCO trainings, and education seminars for co-employees within their respective organizations, and compliance with other WCO requirements and processes. Some participants also highlighted their efforts to implement their internal protocols and programs to ensure their organization's compliance with the WCO rules. Alright. Under training and education, participants listed their participation in WCO trainings organized by the Philippine Electricity Market Corporation and the Independent Electricity Market Operator of the Philippines, or IMOP. Specific activities included trainings on basic WCO operations, advanced WCO trainings, and other trainings on the following: WCO enhancements, New Market Management System or NMMS, Central Registration Settlement System or CRSS, including CRSS familiarization, demonstration seminar and hands-on training, trial operations for both the CRSS and NMMS, generator compliance training under the NMMS, training on retail competition and open access or RCOA, and compliance post-evaluation monitoring system or CPEMS training. Participants also reported their attendance and active participation in meetings, consultations and conferences organized by PEMC and IMOP, such as WCO Summit 2019, workshops and focus group discussions on the proposed WCO's accreditation program, PEMC WCO compliance refresher briefings, and plant visits, meetings on parallel operations program kickoff, high-level meetings on the implementation of NMMS, meetings on market readiness assessment for the implementation of the enhanced WCO design and operations, generators forum with the IMOP and the system operator, annual general membership meeting, IMOP Kapihan, and market participants updates or MPUs. Aside from those activities, some WCO members also reported their attendance to and participation in seminars, public consultations, and information dissemination campaigns of the Department of Energy, or DOE, the Energy Regulatory Commission, or ERC, and the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, or NGCP, as part of their efforts to be continuously informed of the developments in the energy sector. Now, on the area of their compliance to the WCO processes and PEMC's requirements. Some participants emphasized their compliance with said processes and requirements as follows: timely submission of significant event report form or SIRF, and Dispatch Deviation Report Form, or DDRF. Submission of responses, together with supporting documents. Required for all preliminary notices of investigations, or P&I issued by ECHO, for potential non-compliances to the must-offer rule, or MOR, and real-time dispatch, or RTD schedule and instructions. Compliance with repertorial and operational requirements of the IMOP and PEMC. Accomplishment and submission of responses to the survey on the criteria for generator readiness for the implementation of the enhanced WESM design. Accomplishment of surveys for the accessibility and usability of the CRSS. Submission of significant events and notices. And daily submission of forecasts and updating of standing nominations. Alright. This time, let's get inspired by the efforts made by some of the WESM members. Let's check them out. Drafting of an internal code of conduct. Formulation of a compliance program through the development and implementation of WESM compliance protocols within their organizations. Maintenance of operational protocols to comply with the WESM rules and WESM manuals, retail rules and retail manuals. Adoption of trading protocol improvements to prevent noncompliance. Updating and improvement in protocols to adapt to changes in the WESM rules. Improved protocols with trading team and plant personnel for ancillary service procurement plan and energy capacity nomination or renomination during plant and line outages and unit synchronization. Other internal activities were initiated by some WESM members, and to name a few. Updating of the regulatory rules in the regulatory portal for employees to access implementation of protocols and streamline processes for efficient and accurate bilateral contract quantity declaration. Continuous monitoring and improvement in forecast accuracy generation. Improvement in internal systems, processes, and protocols related to plant availability declaration and duration. Improvement in the dispatch monitoring facility by providing audible and visible alarms at the control room should power output be out of dispatch tolerance. Improvement in the monitoring of actual plant load in compliance with the dispatch schedules. Conduct of plant maintenance and performance testing to monitor and update and improve plant's maximum capability. Quarterly presentation and discussions on the status of WESM operations to all their employees during regular meetings. Inclusion of WESM educational videos at the lobby of WESM members' offices as part of the educational campaign of consumers. Alignment of processes and internal meetings in preparation for the enhanced WESM design implementation. Holding of ECHO seminar for co-employees as regards their attended trainings and seminars, by way of an information dissemination campaign within the organization. Quarterly updating of the regulatory compliance database. Let's now check the compliance activities undertaken by the NGCP. As a system operator, it was able to accomplish the following compliance-related activities. It prepared and submitted system status reports that include the system snapshots every 5 minutes, and regularly sent system advisories to the market operator. It provided post-dispatch reports such as security limit violations, non-compliances to dispatch instructions, and daily operational reports to the market operator. It issued market intervention and restoration reports of an emergency event to various government authorities. It submitted to the market operator the approved outage schedules. It also executed contingency planning for submission of the contingency list to the market operator. And lastly, it submitted daily ancillary schedule to market operator. Let's also check NGCP's compliance activities. This time, as a metering service provider. To ensure full compliance of metering facilities to the existing market rules, NGCP performed the following in the year 2019. 100% testing and calibration of revenue meters. 152 meters that were tested and sealed by the ERC were put in service. 449 newly delivered Maxis Elite meters went through acceptance testing. 53 new metering facilities for generators, load customers and station services were installed. 25 metering facilities were retired in 2019. Non-compliant CTPTLA arrangements were corrected. 20 metering points were relocated following DOE DC 2018-050015 and ERC Resolution Number 23 Series of 2016. 100% testing and calibration of monitoring and measurement equipment was achieved. 167 associated metering points were tested in 2019. Meter data retrieval initiatives were performed. And performed the necessary preparations for WCO Mindanao. With the following accomplishment rates. 100% regulatory approval as WCO MSP. 94.4% registration of metering installations. And 81.3% approval of metering services agreements. It also had the following accomplishments. Replacement of non-compliant metering equipment, and that includes meter boxes, meter test switches, and instrument transformers, among others. Correction of non-compliant or deteriorated wires, conduits, and secondary cables. Replacement of instrument transformers that failed in service. Installation of site equipment identification label for 68 metering points. Repainting of metering structures and re-graveling of metering facilities. And finally, the development and approval of 6 metering procedures manuals. Alright. What about the market operator's compliance? Let's check them out. To ensure and provide indication of IMOP's compliance with the market rules and manuals. As a market operator, the following activities were accomplished and reported. Compliance with the Market Operator Performance Standards or MOPS monitoring. In November 2019, IMOP achieved an overall score of 4, or a very satisfactory rating. And this covers the following areas: IT systems, market reports and data publication, forecast accuracy, dispatch scheduling and pricing, billing, settlements, and accounts management, and the registration and customer relations. As part of its continuous implementation of the Integrated Management System, it was also able to get recertified for ISO Information Security Management System or ISMS, and for Quality Management System, after having successfully passed the surveillance audit for 2019. There were no major nonconformities which were noted during said year. IMOP also considered proposing the following rules change that could enhance the enforcement and compliance with the existing relevant rules on the matter. Clarification on bilateral contract quantity enrollment and declarations. Enhancements to prudential requirement annual reassessment procedures. And lastly, the revised requirements for indirect membership. Alright. That practically sums up the annual activities of our WCO members, which were reported by their respective WCO compliance officers. And with all these, we can say that the WCOs did a great job in terms of compliance. Thanks to our WCOs. What you're doing in your organization will redound to the benefit of the WCO. And all those accomplishments underscore the message that you really want to convey to stakeholders, and to your customers as well, regarding your ability to achieve a culture of compliance within this industry. We hope that we'll continue to do the same in the coming years, by being consistent with our compliance-related efforts and undertakings. Someone said, success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.